that. That's the beginning. You always have it.
Did you get rain at your house?
Yeah, I did.
What time did it start?
It started in the, I believe that afternoon hours, just around 3. Or 3.
Did you walk this morning?
I walk every day, 1 hour, regardless of what, whether it's snow, rain, or cold, or hot.
I've noticed that. When I come through there, you start about what, 8:30?
It's not a fixed time. I walk 1 hour every day after my surgery.
When you say no fixed time, you mean 8:15 or 8:20, because you're pretty
regimented. Sometime in that area, sometime in that range, yeah. And after this 2011 bad episode of my back, that's the only thing I can do. I cannot do anything else than walk.
Now, in 2011, when you had that back thing, I met you at Denny's, remember? And you couldn't hardly walk.
Yeah, well, that was my rough time. This is my second life. I made it.
What caused that?
It started from a simple surgery. A lot of people have that surgery. They call disc surgery, discectomy. Mm-hmm. So they remove partially that disc, but then it converted into infection, and that infection went into my bone. And once you get the infection in your bone, no matter how many antibiotics you take, you just get 1% of antibiotic. So I was on for 75 IV of vancomycin, which is a big shot of antibiotic. I stayed for 75 days and finally it cleared. But what happened during that time, from that infection, it made a big tear on my spinal cord, where they call dura. And then my CSF fluid was leaking, the brain fluid that was leaking from my back, and it leaked for 3 months non-stop. And your brain makes about 500 cc a day. I was dripping 500 cc a day, so I was barely making it. Whatever I was losing, that was my brain was making. If I had lost more, then naturally my system would get dry, and then I would not be living.
Were you on your bed? On the bed? You were
most of the time in my bed, and I hardly move my legs, because I was not able to move my legs because of the pressure to my neurological system in the back. When the liquid gets built up, it makes the pressure to my nerve, and then my sister or my wife or somebody they were at my home those days, they were helping me to move my leg from one spot to another spot. But thanks God to one of the best neurosurgeon in Nashville, Vanderbilt Hospital, he made me to live. And I always think of him very highly.
What's his name?
Dr. Joseph Cheng, Cheng. And a matter of fact, my wife had a surgery in Chattanooga last year in June. That was a failed surgery. And I ended up going to Ohio, where he is right now in Ohio. So I followed him over there in Ohio.
Mm-hmm. She had the same thing you did?
No, she had a different kind of surgery. She had a compression on her nerve. So they released that compression. And now she's doing much better. Yeah, much better. She's driving. She's going shopping. But she does not spend too much time outside. She mostly stays home. Yeah, but we made it. I'm thankful for this all, and this could not have happened anywhere else in the world except America. Let me tell you that honestly speaking. If I was not in USA, I would have been dead. Mm-hmm. So I'm always thankful to God and to Dr. Cheng. He's to me like a God.
But now when you started walking, I noticed you walked just a little bit, and you'd walk a little bit more,
yeah.
And now you're walking.
Like I walk like a normal person.
Yeah.
I walk like a normal person. Before when I started walking with walker, then cane, and then slowly with support, somebody next to me. If I walk through any small little piece of marble or small piece of dirt, then I get pinch in my back. But now I went to Tibet. I was walking on big rocks, and nothing happened to me. So that much I'm improved.
So you attribute what he did to fixing you?
That's correct. He fixed the leak. He said that I have two options. if I'm successful fixing your leak, then you will be fine. If I cannot fix your leak, then I have to put VP shunt. That VP shunt that comes from the brain, that tube, it goes to your body and comes to your penis. So they have to change this. It's like a plastic tube. They have to change every couple of years. And that was something I never wanted. So I prayed and prayed and prayed that night. The fourth night, he told me that it will be about 4 days. I would know whether your leak got fixed or not fixed. So 4 days later, he gave me good news. My leak was fixed. He kept me for longer time in Vanderbilt, then in rehab, and then.
He must be a real.
He's a smart doctor.
Yeah.
He's a very smart doctor. Very, very smart doctor. Very smart.
When you walk, how far do you walk?
I just walk in my circle only. I don't go out of my circle.
How far is that?
It's all the way from Freeville to back to where Mr. Sharp have a cul-de-sac.
Is it like a mile or half a mile?
No, I don't think so. It may be kilometer.
Do you go back and forth?
Back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, I just make it.
Now I've seen you out in your raincoat.
I would walk no matter what. As I said, regardless of what temperature.
Is that like a meditation to you also?
That's correct. I need to get out from my home. And once I come out from my home, I feel good. I feel real great.
There's something about getting the blood flowing that really makes people feel better.
I just cannot be homebound all the time. I have to get out from my home at certain time and then come back. But nowadays, I don't go out anytime afternoon hours, except today. I'm here afternoon hours. Normally, you will never see me in Cleveland afternoon hours.
How come?
Well, I just take a nap. After that, I get up in the morning, 3:30, 4 o'clock. So normally I get nap.
What do you do at 4 o'clock in the
I
morning?
read.
What do you read?
Computer.
Computers?
Yeah. Normally that is the only time I use my computer. Watch
What do you read about?
news, politics,
Oh.
politics, which we do not want to talk.
We don't talk
yeah,
about.
Yeah, but that's the only
I
thing
know your politics and they're
that-
about like mine.
That's the only thing I read in the morning hours. So all the entertainment and all the world news, the local news.
Why 4 o'clock?
I just can't sleep because I go to bed early. I go to bed 8:30. So when you go to bed 8:30,
Even if it's light outside?
no matter what, yesterday I went to bed 8:15.
How do you go to sleep when it's
I
light
can get
outside?
it easily, just like that. Just like that, I can go to bed.
You take anything to go to sleep?
No, I do not. I do not take any medicine. I don't take any medicine. I used to take, after surgery, I used to take a lot of medicines, but now I don't have any problem.
Now you're retired now. You
I'm
don't-
retired. In 2011, I retired.
How many businesses did you own?
By the time I retired, 24,
24 businesses.
24 small businesses, not a big business.
24
Small
small
bu- I
businesses,
closed-
probably worse than 2 big ones.
I closed 24 small businesses, yeah. 24.
You're a good businessman.
Well, I supervise most of them. I never worked behind a counter. I never worked behind the hotel giving a key to guest. I do not know how to make the key even, but I knew how to manage the hotel. So I started with this chalet Quality Inn in Cleveland,
Yeah.
where we lived 35 people in that house back in
The Swiss house.
The Swiss house.
That was when it was in good shape, right?
It was in a good shape. The 35 people lived in that house, and especially when my family came from India in 1994, I had a big army were coming from India. So I brought them from Atlanta to here, and I settled them in a Swiss house, because how do you do that? How do you put 24, 26 people in a single family home? Fortunately, Swiss house had 14 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms.
And they were nice at that
They
time.
were nice those days, yeah. 93. I bought that place in 93.
Now, when did you, there for a while, you were commuting back to Clayton, Georgia. You had a motel, right?
After that, after I sold Chalet,
oh, yeah.
I did 1031 exchange. So I took the money from Cleveland, Tennessee. After I sold this Chalet, I went to Clayton, Georgia, where I bought the place in Clayton.
And then you owned a motel in Murphy,
Murphy,
right?
that's correct. Yeah, Murphy, North Carolina.
Same time frame?
Same time frame, yes, sir.
You remember when I went up there and stayed in Murphy at your motel?
No, I do not remember. You stayed over there?
Yeah, you paid for the room and everything.
I have no idea even. See how...
And I left my watch. And I left, got about 10 miles down the road, and I realized it was an expensive watch, and so I realized it went back, and the
watch was there?
The guy you had cleaning was standing out in the parking lot going like this.
Oh, he was a very honest person.
Oh, he
very,
was a
very
nice
honest person.
guy.
You know, one time somebody gave
He was
him,
more worried about that watch than I was.
yeah, one time somebody gave him $100 tip, and he thought that this guy made a mistake. Instead of $1, he pulled the $100 bill. So he ran after him. He said, sir, it's $100. It's not $1, it's $100. And that guy said, I know it's $100. I gave you $100. Keep it. He said, $100. He kept repeating. He did not understand a whole lot from that guy, whatever he was talking, except he knew probably that he's saying $100. But then he was an honest person.
What happened to him?
He's back home in India. Yeah, he's back home in India. His wife had a cancer, and so he ended up going back to India. But if I go back to India, he will call me from here every day, and he will give me the report that all done, all rooms are clean, everything ready to go. He gave me report of the business every single day.
That was at the early days of cell phone, right?
The early days of we had cell phones, but not widely used cell phones. I don't think so. We had
There were the
iPhones.
flip phones.
Yeah,
and
flip
stuff,
phone. Yeah, we had flip phone. But he was one of the best. I'm in touch with him. He calls me periodically. I speak to him.
He probably don't even remember finding my watch.
No, he may not remember. Now, since you told me, when I
tell
talk
him.
to him next time, I'll talk to him. I'll ask him that. Do you remember?
I had
that
told you
found
about that, but you'd forgotten.
When I tell people why I forget so much, because when I lost my brain fluid, my memory gone with that brain fluid.
That's a good excuse.
That's a
right?
good excuse, yeah. But I do forget a lot. I do forget. But sometimes certain things, like I had a cross country in America in 1988. I always wanted to see America first before I see any other country in the world. People, they say, oh, have you gone to Europe? Have you gone to Australia? Have you gone to this country? I said, why the hell I want to go to other countries until I see my country? This is my country. I love it so much. So I decided I quit my job in a pharmacy. I told my partners, I do not want my salary. You just pay me when I come back, and I want to work for you guys. Until that time, I'm going to leave. I'm going to see this beautiful country.
But let's go back. When did you come to America?
I came in 1976, February 17. 1976, February 17.
Now, you're a pharmacist by trade.
I was pharmacist back home in India. But
How old were you?
I was 26 years old.
What possessed you to come to America?
I grew up in a small town, in a small village in India, back home. We were very poor. We did not have anything except that go to farm. We used to, farming was mainly produce. So we sell all produces, and then whatever money comes out from that. And we had a milk buffalo. We call, instead of cow, we call buffalo over there in India. And we sell the milk. So we used to sell milk. And my mother never gave me more than 100 cc milk a day because we used to sell everything. And
Buffalo milk?
Yeah, milk. It's a real milk. It's like a cow milk.
Does it taste the same?
It's better taste. It's a better taste. So my mom always sold that all the milk rather than giving to children. We were 7 brothers, sister, and my father was not making any money because he had a big loss in farming when the flood came in one time, and we used to be a big potato farmer. And that flood taken everything, completely wiped out. And my father went back again to the same place, and again there was a flood. That was 1967 even, and we lost everything what we had. We did not have any money to turn the fan on. We had a fan.
They didn't have Social Security there?
Oh, no, we don't have such thing. No.
What do you do? Just starve?
No, we had enough food to eat.
But if you didn't, what would you do?
No, that the more normally people they help each other. Even we have beggars come at evening hours to beg. We always feed them. So I don't think I have seen hunger where I grew up. We always manage to, because it's our farm. We produce. We have all the vegetables in our farm. So we can bring all the vegetables. We have some fruits, papaya, tomato. So we can bring those fruits at home, plus milk and grain. We had a lot of grains also too. So no, we never reached to that point. When I say poor means we did not have cash flow. We doing mostly trading. You sell milk, then whatever comes, then you buy something else.
So it wasn't really. It's not really a money trade.
No, those days, money was like a rare that you see actual money floating around. So those days, and then my uncle helped me out to go to college. So when I finished my pharmacy school, he always wanted me to come to US. He was a very intelligent person back home in India. He was a professor. He was a highly educated. He spoke very fluent language. Even he wrote the mail to John F. Kennedy when Kennedy got elected. So he knew so much about America, but he was not able to make it. But then he have a dream that he said that I'm gonna let you study in my city where he lived, and I studied over there in pharmacy school. And there was a good opportunity those days that once you become pharmacist, there was immigration available here in US. So as soon as you come to airport, Kennedy Airport, New York City, then you get your green card. So how lucky I was to get my green card right at the airport. You wait for 1 hour and they will print the green card and they will let you go.
Because you were a pharmacist?
Yeah, that's correct.
So the college degree transferred to America?
No, I had to go through certain process. But that we did not speak language. So when we landed in New York City.
Who did you come with?
I was alone myself, but I had a friend here in USA.
The legend is you came with $2.
$7. $7, not $2. $7. That was the maximum you get. So somebody.
You had $2.
$7. $7. Somebody sponsored me, so he was responsible for my lodging and boarding if I failed to be on a public charges. But then I never needed to do that. So I stayed with friends, and we had a very good friend circle. They will not charge you for eating, staying over there, or any expense you make while you are there until you make money. So that was a tradition for that friend circle, that you get somebody, let them be on their own feet, and once they start making money, then you share expenses.
And that was sort of traditional of the whole Indian culture.
That is correct, sir, yes. And that is what we did. So
how long did it take to go through that process?
First of all, let me tell you bad incidents that I was not getting employment for 10 days. And I was frustrated. I did not have any patient probably. They kept telling me, wait, you will get employment, you will find job somewhere. But it was not easy. How would I get the job? I asked myself that if I don't speak the language.
Yeah.
I did not speak the language. So no matter how smart I am, no matter what I know about my pharmacy field, no matter what knowledge I have, how can I represent to somebody?
Yeah.
Right? Like...
it wouldn't matter how smart you were.
No. Smartness turns to zero that time. So then I started working in a newspaper stand in New York City. Underground subway stations where there is a newspaper stand. Guy was paying me $2.30 per hour, but he did not pay me $2.30 per hour. I worked 70 hours. He gave me $50, even though I had a green card.
Yeah.
$50.
Yeah.
For 70 hours.
Yeah.
And then my friend said that you gave him only $50. He said he does not have experience. I said, what the hell you want me to have experience running the newspaper stand? All I have to sell the newspaper for 50 cents, 25 cents, candy for 20 cents, gum for 20 cents. and you are expert in one day.
Yeah.
And then he never paid me. He paid me $50 only. And then, anyway, I needed the job.
Yeah.
So I worked for him. And then
How long did you work for him?
6 months.
Golly.
But during that 6 months, I was reading also too, my pharmacy board exam. Because I had when train comes, you're busy. When train leaves, then there is a ghost house in the platform. There is nobody over there. So you read. But then his wife did not like me when I read. He said, you reading too much and you're not concentrating. I said, what do you want me to do? When train comes, when customer comes, they ask for newspaper. I give them newspaper. And when nobody's here, then I open my book and I read my pharmacy book because I want to pass my board.
Yeah.
Pharmacy board. And they said, and I got mad. I said, here's your key. I don't want to work. I quit. I quit.
Well, you had to study. You had to get that over with.
I studied 2.5 years to get 3 exams. And once you pass those 3 exams, then you are equivalent to American pharmacist. So when and meanwhile, after 6 months, I found a job. I came in February 17th, 1976. Then I went to look for a work to one drugstore, Star Pharmacy, STAR, an Italian guy.
In New York?
In New York. He did not offer me a job, but then I went back again to the same place after some time. He said, you were here before, right? I understood partial. I say, yeah. And he said, you want to work? I say, yeah, I want to work. He said, come on in. This is the place you will be working, and you come from Monday, I'll give you $3 an hour. I went home. I told my partners, my roommates, I said, I got job, $3 an hour. He said, you do not understand anything. Nobody will give you $3. We've been here for a year and a half, and we're making only $2.30. And who the hell you are not speaking the language even, you get $3 per hour. So I spent 1 week. He gave me a check. I went home excited. I showed to my friends. I said, look at this. I got $3 per hour. He said, damn, how did you get this? I said, well, that's what he told me. And I told you, he didn't believe me, and this is what I got. But then he paid me $3 an hour. I worked there for 5 years. And I worked.
Chalk one up for the tag.
Yeah, and the Italian guy, Lee Riserva, I spoke to him 2 weeks ago, 35 minutes.
Is that right?
35 minutes I spoke to him. And
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Just a coincidence. 2 weeks ago I called him. I think of him, but I do not talk to him quite frequently. Couple of reasons I could not find the phone number.
He really helped you.
He's the one who helped me to train me about the pharmacy business and the pharmacy knowledge. He was a very good boss. So when I started working for him, I worked over there. I bust my chops. I work hard. I gave it all, whatever I had. And he appreciated it. And then when I became pharmacist in 2.5 years, he said, Danny, you want to work for this place as a pharmacist? That time I was making $4.50. And he offered me $10 per hour. So I said, I got it. I'll take it. So I worked there for $10 an hour in that pharmacy.
In New York?
In New York. And then I worked for $10 an hour. And then he said that Dashu, he used to call me Dashu. D-A-S-H-U, Dashu. He said, Dashu, you ready for your own business? I said, you think so? And I knew what I was doing, but I did not have any responsibility like the owner would have it, the boss would have it. Boss have to worry everything when he goes home. Even though we employee go home, we do not worry too much about break-in or robbery or theft or whatever it may be. We always think, limited liability, limited responsibility being an employee. I was a very good, faithful employee, but I was not an owner of that place. But then I started looking for my own business. I found a small little bitty mom and pop store in Long Island, New York. So I moved from New York City to Long Island, New York.
Did he help you with that?
No, he did not, but he knew that. He told me that if you don't find the business and if you don't find the employment, then come back to work for me. I decided not to go. I say, if I go back to work for him, then I will never be able to leave because you work there morning to evening, you make money, but then you don't have time to find the location. So then I decided to go back to India to see my family after 6 years. So after working for my boss, and then that was my 6th year running, so I went to India to see my family. My family were in India. Me and my wife only in America. So they were in India. Then I came back. I decided not to work for anybody because I want to go in my own business. That was a dream I have it. So when I quit the job, I could not find the business for 7 months. I could not find, and I had $15,000 saving in my account.
Did you just, because you didn't spend any money?
No, I was making $10 an hour. My wife was making $2 something, and then our house expense was only $400 month. I lived in New Jersey, other side of the river, which is this side Manhattan, other side is New Jersey. So I lived over there. Our expense was only $400. So whatever my wife was earning, that's what I was spending only in my house expense. Rent was $150. And
would you take a cab into New York?
No, bus.
Bus.
So when I was taking that bus, I was watching those two towers, World Trade Center, every single day, like two brothers standing next to each other. And so I remember that World Trade Center so much, because I always had to wait for my bus bus that at bus stop. And when you're standing, what do? You just keep looking. So I kept looking the New York City. And I always kept looking those two World Trade Center tower. So I have that much memory. And when we lost, that was heartbreaking to me, okay? Because I have so much attachment. Each time whenever somebody come from India, we always take them to see World Trade Center rather than Empire State Building. Empire State Building is right in the Manhattan, in the center of the Manhattan. I did not have enough parking place over there. So I always went to World Trade Center. They have good parking space over there. So you park, you take your family members or whoever is visiting to America and let them see Statue of Liberty, which is not too far from World Trade Center. And you let them see World Trade Center and a little bit downtown area. And then, so I went there so many times here. So when I came back from India, go back to the same point, then I found a pharmacy in Long Island, New York. And that pharmacy was a small pharmacy, was hardly making salary. And I said, I'm making $10 per hour for somebody, so that's $20,000 a year. So I calculated I would make at least $25,000 from this pharmacy. That I knew, $25,000 a year. And I said that would be sufficient for me to start. But then when I took over that pharmacy, people, they did not like me because I was a foreigner and there was no Indian those days in that town. And they walked, we had two doors, so they would walk from this door with the prescription in their hand and they leave from this door. And I say, I lost money because that prescription, each time they walk in, they leave, you lose money.
Oh, just because you were Indian?
Because I was Indian. They did not know me, who I am, how idiot I am, or how smart I am, or what knowledge I have. I had a very good knowledge about the pharmacy. If somebody asks me a question, if you ask me a question about the pharmacy, if I did not know the answer, Dee, I will call you at night. And I said, Dee, I read it, and this is the answer of your question. I was that much into. But if nobody gives me the chance, how would I represent my knowledge? But then I hang on that pharmacy.
Did you just keep plugging along?
Yeah, because I lost few customers, I gained few customers. I lost few customers, I gained few customers. And then each time when somebody asked me question, I was very much in answering those questions, gave very good service. I kept place nice and clean. And then I made not only $25,000 from that pharmacy, we were 3 partners. I paid $30,000 to buy that pharmacy. So I had only $10,000 in my pocket.
Who is the partners?
They're in New York, and we still together.
Just friends?
Yeah, friends, yeah. We live together. They gave me a shelter when I came to USA. I stayed into their apartment.
So these guys, these two people ended up being lifelong friends.
We are friends. We still as of today. Yeah, because they the one who gave me shelter to live over there and not to charge me anything until I start making money. So how can you beat this? This is that tradition we kept going after that even. So one person.
How long did you keep that one pharmacy?
I kept it. I still have that pharmacy as of today, as we speak. So that pharmacy was in a medical building, and then there was a new shopping center was under construction in 1984, I believe that 84. And I said, why don't I go outside in a shopping center so I have better exposure? In a medical building, there is no exposure. When you are in a medical building, there is a pharmacy. Only people will know you, those who come into that medical building. But when I go to shopping center, and if I have that sign, Brookhaven Pharmacy, and if I take all this business to new pharmacy, so I rented a store for $1,000 a month. I was paying $300 a month. I rented $1,000 a month. But at the same time, I wrote the letter to every customer. I say, I'm moving to this location. You know what? Everybody followed me. I had existing business, which I was making reasonably good. Everybody followed me. And then I got more business on the top of that. That called Brook.
So you wrote a letter to all the customers?
All the customer. I sent a card to all the customers because I had a profile cards for everybody.
Yeah.
We did not have computer those days.
Oh, I see.
We had typewriter, and we have to fill out profile card for each and every patient who walks in my pharmacy.
I see.
So they followed me in a new pharmacy, and then because of the exposure in a shopping center, I think we had 20 stores in a shopping center, so they help each other because they bring traffic.
Sure.
And then my business grew from then. There was a next door guy was going out of business, so I rented that store, and I opened the wall between two, and I made a bigger store, 2,000 square feet store instead of 1,000.
Were you selling other stuff?
I was selling prescription pharmacy, which is prescription drugs in the back and over the counter in the front, and cosmetics, shampoo, lotion, perfume, cologne, everything you sell in the front, diapers, pampers, health and beauty aids. That was not a big business, but when you come to buy a prescription, you want to have something that time and you don't want to go somewhere else. You will just grab it right from there. And we did not have competition like this, what we see right today, Genovese and Walgreens and CVS and Walmart and Kmart. And those days, no, we did not have all those. The people, they supported small businesses. So most of the time, you are supported by community.
Even in New Long Island?
No, we did not have all this. We did not have Walmart probably 15 years ago. We just got Walmart. I'm talking
20.
about 84 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking 1984. I moved to shopping center.
Yeah, they weren't, Walmart wasn't rolling then.
No. Walmart just got here probably in Long Island 10, 15 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And big stores also were not there next to us. So mostly you get a lot of clientele from the neighborhood. And so they always buy something, underarm deodorant or Pampers or diapers or cream, ointment, whatever they need, they buy it. They don't go to certain, we did not have anything online.
Yeah, you couldn't buy nothing
online. No.
Didn't even have computer.
No, computer. We did not have computer. We used to do on a typewriter. So whatever we sold, that was enough to pay my rent. Over-the-counter stuff outside. And prescription, I was doing well. I reached to 200 prescription a day at one time. When you make 200 prescription a day, you make $200,000 a day easily. I mean, sorry, 200,000 a year, excuse me. So 200 prescription, that's a lot of volume, a lot of money. And when you were making $10 or $15 per hour those days, and when you make $200,000 a year, that
all because you were a pharmacist.
Because of that, it's the only reason.
Yeah.
And I have something else to tell you. When I opened that pharmacy, when I moved it in a shopping center, my family came from India. My sister, two sisters, and my brother came from India, and my mother brought them. I hired my sister to work for me. And my sister was going out to dump the trash in a trash container, and her trash got opened up in a parking lot. So trash was all over. One guy showed up. His name is Scott Cullen.
Scott Cullen?
Kullen. He owns 52 grocery stores in New York, like Food City. So Scott Cullen was my customer He did not have pharmacy those days in a grocery store. We did not have pharmacy in a grocery store. So my sister went there. My sister was going out to dump the trash, and that bag got opened up right in the middle of parking lot. So that Mr. Cullen, he helped my sister to put together this trash. And then my sister came back, and he was not in a mood. He said, "Brother, this is what happened to me, and this gentleman helped me." I say, "You know who is he?" She said, "No." I say, he owns 52 stores. I believe that he had 4,000 employees.
Golly.
And this is America. In India, rich people would not touch you even. If they touch you, they will take the shower when they go home. So I said, see this is the beauty of this country, that rich person does not...
As bad as we are, we're not that bad.
No, we are not bad, okay? I will not say a bad word about this country. We are still top of the world in every aspect. See, we share every hospital, rich or poor. We share school district, rich or poor. We share court system, police station, roads, everything, grocery store. No matter where you go, we all are together. That is not the case in India. I'm not saying bad thing about India. It's my birthplace. I was born and raised there. I will never forget. But then I will not be so stupid to say bad thing about, good thing about India even. So in India, rich people have court system differently works for them. Rich people have police department works differently for them. Rich people have different school. Rich people have hospital different than poor people. So if you go to India, there are hospitals similar to America right now, nowadays. But that's only for rich people. Poor people cannot enter into that hospital. So poor people end up going
So in India, if you're born poor, you really can't get over the line.
No, you cannot get it over the line, and you will not be given opportunities.
Here you got a shot.
If you work here minimum salary in America right now, you can live in Stratford Circle apartment with 2 bedrooms with $700 rent. You work 50 hours, 60 hours maybe, and your wife will work 40, 50, 60 hours. You both bring home $40,000, $50,000 a year. You spend comfortable.
You may not be able to go on long vacations, but you can live comfortably.
No, people, they take vacation. We don't spend money going out to eat that often. We don't spend money going out to entertainment. We don't spend that much money in a big, good-looking car. We don't spend that much money in clothing. But they live wonderful life. They live good life. We call in America that whether you make $10 per hour or you make $50 per hour, you all live the same lifestyle, except that you have a bigger house, that person have a smaller house. That person have a Mercedes, you may have an old Toyota or Honda. You have refrigerator, you have sofa. That person have sofa too, that person have a refrigerator. But my point to tell you that we can share everything what they have. We cannot compromise in food. You buy whatever you want to eat. Everything is available, and food is so inexpensive in America.
You're not going to starve in America.
No. We spend 20% budget probably in our grocery bill. 20%. The rest of money is our mandatory expenses like rent and utilities and vehicle expense. The rest of money goes to bank. Every Indian who lives here in town, even though they're not making a whole lot of money, they have a good bank balance. How they have that good bank balance? Because of they live conservative life. They don't spend.
I've never seen one get a Coke out of a Coke machine.
Never. They would rather go.
If I go buy one, I get a.
Yeah.
You won't see them eating a candy bar.
No. I call them like next to Jew. So if you have a candy store in Jewish area, you go out of business.
Yeah.
They won't buy candy from your store because they don't spend money.
But do you think it's the culture, or do you think that like when the Indians here, is it their culture? Do they enjoy eating at home more?
Yeah. That is one reason.
Because I've been to your house eating.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember.
I
came
remember.
here, and everybody sits around. It's like a buffet. It's for dinner.
Right, and woman will serve to
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah. So back to the basic point. People, they will spend money after they are well-to-do. Maybe well-to-do means when they have good business or good salary, and they have children. Then they will go on a vacation. So then they will, like I did it in 1988. I quit my
What brought you to that decision? Because you were doing well in the pharmacy business.
I was doing very well in pharmacy, but I wanted to see America, and we did not have children those days. And my wife wanted to get pregnant, and naturally in Indian culture, adoption is not a things that you want it. If you adopt somebody, they're gonna look at you differently. They will look at you differently. It's not like America generosity they're showing. They adopt unknown people and they live a happy life, and they never mention the word even that I have adopted.
Yeah.
So I thought that if I take some time off from this burden, what I was running the pharmacy open to close, working many hours, making a lot of money, then I said, let me just take some time off. We tried fertility the program, did not work. I said,
So you thought it was stress that was keeping
stress. So I thought that maybe stress could be contributing this my unfortunate problem. And life is incomplete without children in our community. Life is incomplete without children.
In our community or in all communities?
In our community. In our community.
And maybe in ours.
Well, if Americans have accepted everything so positively, regardless of what. They accepted it positively. If we do not have children, they look at you differently. They look at you differently. So I say, let me just take time off. I'll go to all 50 states. I will drive. I'll go to Alaska from Seattle, Washington. I will drive with my motorhome. I bought a motorhome.
Oh.
Used motorhome.
Yeah. How big was it?
It was Toyota, small motorhome. It was not a big.
Did it have a bathroom in it?
Yeah, it was bathroom in
You
there.
have to plug it in?
Yeah, plug it, bathroom,
So you stayed at campsites?
Yeah, campsite. I stayed mostly campsite.
Was that fun?
Enjoyed very much.
Yeah.
Enjoyed very much. And as of today, I still rent Cruise America motorhome. Cruise America motorhome, I rent and I travel. And so I taken 11 weeks off, going all around, but did not go to Alaska because my wife was tired.
Oh.
She wanted to come back home. She wanted to homesickness.
Looks like she'd have gone to that one last place.
Yeah. So then what happened? I went to Alaska in December.
Uh-huh.
In December.
Oh, this past December?
No, not this. I think 90 probably, or
Okay.
89
Yeah.
something. I do not remember
Yeah.
exactly. I was not prepared that Alaska is so cold even. I went to Barrow, Alaska, Barrow, Barrow, which is the top of the world. Top of the world, you cannot go any further.
And it was cold?
All frozen.
How many lived there?
3,000 people lives over there right now.
What were they like?
They research. They do all research.
Oh,
and,
I've seen that in documentaries.
Government.
They drill holes in the ice and stuff.
No, they have that Prudhoe Bay. They call Prudhoe Bay, where they have oil rigs.
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of oil coming from pipeline, Alaska pipeline.
Uh-huh.
So I went there and came back in 11 weeks, and then I went back to work.
In the pharmacy?
In a pharmacy, just employee to my partners.
Had you sold out to them?
No, I did not sell out, but I was a partner in the pharmacy, but I was helping them out.
Oh.
Just 35 hours.
Yeah.
And there was another reason why I wanted to work. If I continue working more hours, I will make more money for myself. Then I will never be able to helpful to my family. So I had brothers, sisters, and their husbands. So I wanted to help them. So with my extra time, because I was working 35 hours a week only, with my extra time, I found the business is for them. If I had continued working myself, I would have probably more money, but then I would not have done what I did for my brother, my sister, her sister's husband, for all of them, and they all are business people. They have more money than I do, so that's my happiness.
So by buying another business or starting another business, you were able to help them,
Correct.
help themselves,
Financially,
rather than just making the money.
Right, financially and locating the business.
And might have made more anyway.
Yeah, that's correct. So everybody got into the business, and then I decided to move to Tennessee.
Why Tennessee?
I started looking in 88 South because South is inexpensive. New York is very expensive to have many people to live over there. I built a house in 84. 9 people lived in my house. My brothers, sisters, my mother, my wife, my dad, all we lived over there. But then I had 26 people, big army coming from India, from my wife's side. And they all came in 94. So I say, if I don't move to South, I will not be able to afford these inexpensive apartments over there.
But how'd you land in Tennessee?
I landed in Athens, Tennessee.
That's right.
I failed in business miserably.
Why Athens?
Well, there was a grocery store it was bankrupt.
Is that the one you said you bought and nobody came?
That's correct. That's the store. That was
nobody came.
Well, this one white guy showed up and he said, Danny, if you don't leave this town, they're going to throw you out anyway. So why don't you just leave? And he was a good advisor to me. He said, because people are the old-fashioned way those days. I'm talking about 94, okay?
No, well, that's not that long
92, 93. We did not have anything on interstate like.
So when you bought it, so was the store doing? So when you bought it,
it was a closed store. It was a bankrupt store.
I remember you telling me that almost nobody came.
Well, I had almost $100,000 business weekly, and then dropped down to 22,000. So how do I make it? There's no way I can make it.
But why Athens, Tennessee?
There was a business for sale in Tennessee.
How'd you know it?
That was in bankruptcy court.
So you're just looking through the newspaper?
I came to, and then what happened, funny thing, we were looking for the store in Athens. I did not know where the store is located. So I flew from Long Island, New York to Knoxville, and then we rented a vehicle, big vehicle, like mafia vehicle.
Yeah.
So we rented that, the town place car or town car, whatever.
Town car, maybe.
Those days was a big car. So we rented, and I had a driver with me. Driver means my friend's brother was giving me company. He wanted to move in South also too. We came by to Athens, and we were looking for this location. I had only the name, and I went to one place. I say, is there any grocery store by the name Carl, K-A-R-L? He said, no, but there is a grocery store by the name Earl, E-A-R-L. I said, maybe that's the one.
Yeah.
Where is that? So he said, go this way. Then I was in a parking lot. There was a guy standing like you. He said, can I help you? I said, well, I heard that this store is in a bankruptcy court and they want to sell it. He said, I'm the one who has a key for it. So he said that, you want to buy it? I said, yeah, I want to buy it. And then he said, we fixed the price, I think 300,000. I believe so. And there was another store in Charleston, Watson grocery store.
Watson's, yeah.
John Watson. He had one here at CVS, Walgreens CVS.
Tip Top.
That was his store.
Top, yeah.
So that was his store also too.
I can't think of where that is in Charleston.
There was a Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, the Piggly Wiggly. Was that a Watson?
Yeah. So
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so Harry was here at that time in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Harry Patel.
Yeah. So me and Harry got together and we bought those two stores.
The one in Athens and the one here.
Charleston. So yeah. Harry was running this store in Charleston. That store was doing more or less okay because of only one store in town.
Yeah.
And the store I was in Athens, there was a Walmart, there was Ingles, there was Food City or whatever it is. So there was a competition over there. But I did not do well. And I had a nervous breakdown.
Is that right?
I was hospitalized even.
What do you mean had a nervous breakdown?
The stress. I said, I spent this kind of money. I wanted to move to South and I failed miserably over here in this business. So I do not want to go back to New York because I have a big family coming from India. 26 people, they went to get visa at one day. In one day and they all got visa at my wife's side.
And they're all looking at you.
They were all looking for my support because they had no other place to come but my place. So I came south.
So you felt depressed or stressed?
I was depressed over there when I lost the money. And then one guy, he said, Danny, I think they want you to leave this town. There are good people in town, but there were bad apples also too. Mm-hmm. So I took his advice. And one day, one guy showed up. He said, you want to sell your store? I said, right now. He said, how much? I said, $100,000.
How much did you lose?
200,000.
Real money?
Yeah, real money. And my partners, they always told me that come back to New York, forget about this money, forget about this, because we are in a partnership. Mm-hmm. This store was in a partnership. Yeah. I was not alone myself. Mm. So, but I said, no, I can't come to New York.
Did you have the pressure of them wondering why you couldn't make it? Did that bother you?
I believe that couple of reasons. I may not have known the business, grocery store business, more than what I needed to know.
But you'd sort of already been in it with the pharmacy. And
I was in the business, so I knew how to handle the business. I knew how to manage the business.
It was just Athens, I believe.
That could maybe that could be the only reason I think right now. So from Athens, I sold that place. I came to Cleveland, Tennessee. I met Loy Hamilton. This hotel was for sale.
The chalet.
Chalet.
Who owned it then?
Jimmy Cohn.
Colonel Cohn?
Colonel Cohn. And
that's where you met Eddie Cartwright, right?
That is correct. No, I did not meet Eddie Cartwright that time. No.
Oh.
That place was for sale. And they were asking originally $3.6 million. And that's the image most of people had it in their head in town. Like you may have that image because you were a little boy those days.
Yeah.
But
Chalet.
Chalet, because it was like a known name. It was a landmark.
It was a landmark.
So a lot of Indians, they were here that time. They were in a hotel industry. Mm-hmm. I think probably more or less 18 Indians were here in town. And all 18 were in hotel industry except Harry Patel. He was in the gas station business.
Yeah.
So those, and I made a deal with 1.665 with Jim William from First Tennessee Bank. Mm. So they were asking 3.6. I got it for 1.665. This is the actual price. And then interest rate, 6%. You cannot have 6% interest rate those days from the bank.
That was cheap, right?
That was cheap. Mr. Williams probably wanted to unload this debt from Jimmy Cohn because he owed a lot of money from Village Mall and this. So at least I paid 1.665 and I put 20% down. Rest of money Jim Williams gave me.
You were out of money by then.
Yeah,
because you'd spent $200,000 lost.
And then I collected more money in order to buy this business. But that was not the problem because Indian people, they help each other. So all I needed, make a call to New York that I need $200,000.
No problem.
No problem. And that is the way I bought that Athens store. That guy who drove me here, I said, go and get money. So he went back to New York. He got $300,000 check. He closed the deal at the Chattanooga airport. And then we went to that Holiday Inn motel, exit 52 in Athens. You know, that used to be Holiday Inn, exit 52.
You bought that from Glenn Ramsey. Is that right?
So what?
That motel?
No, I did not buy that motel. But we met over there also.
Oh, you met over there.
We met over there. But anyway, so I sold that grocery store, came to Cleveland, and Jim Williams, because of his help, and Loy Hamilton made this deal. And I did not know that I would be approved for a loan for remaining money, 1.665 minus 20% down payment. I did not have any known person in town except Harry, and Harry was just starting his life here in Cleveland, Tennessee. But meanwhile, he called New York to my bank, Mr. Williams, Jim Williams, and he asked my reference. So that guy from New York, he gave a reference in a way that, let me tell you who is he, that guy told to Mr. Williams. Danny Patel's mother does not know Danny. Who is Danny? What kind of person he is? So he gave a reference in a way that Danny Patel's mother even do not know Danny that much, that who is Danny and what kind of person he is. So that was a positive attitude Mr. Williams got from that guy in New York. So he gave me a loan, 6%. And then what happened? I bought this place. I went to this Indian community. I said, why you guys are in a business? I did not know what is closet, what is linen closet. I did not know what is laundry room. I did not know what is lobby. I did not know what is motel. And I bought it because of my business knowledge, only thing I bought it. But why you guys did not buy it? Because you are too many people in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Econolo was there, Days Inn was there, Nights Inn was there, Heritage
Travel
Inn was
Lodge.
there, Travel, everything was here. Except these new names were not here. And they said, he's asking too much money. I said, what he's asking? They said they're asking 3.6 million. And I say, oh, now I know why these people, they did not buy this motel, because they are in impression of 3.6 million. And I paid only 1.665. I did good.
Oh, yeah.
I cleaned the place. All I needed to clean that place. I cleaned that place.
And then you had the Swiss house,
to
bring your family.
Yeah, and I brought my family in 94. My nephew Paul, next to me, he came in February. He was in New York, so I called him from New York. And then my sister and husband, they came first. Then my another sister and husband came after. Then my 26 people showed up from my wife's side in month of August 1994. So in 1994, when I had that Swiss house, we were 35 people lived in that Swiss house and 11 children.
Golly.
And I made a special bus stop for 11 children. Bus stop. And I needed to take them for vaccination, for driver license, for those who were eligible.
And you'd owned the hotel how long then?
I sold it in 95.
I mean, how long had you owned it before you needed to take the...
No, when I had that hotel, those people, they came to USA.
How long had you had it?
I sold in 95
I mean,
December.
how long had you had it before your family
Just
came?
2 years maybe.
So you ran it 2 years by yourself?
Right, that's me and my wife. And of course employees. But the employees, they decided to quit on me. Then when I had a closing, I came back from the closing and Barbara was there, Edna was there, Bobby was there, those three ladies, older women, probably you may know them. And that 27 employees were there also too, 27 employees. But I knew that, I did not, and I told them, me and my wife, we're not going to take your bread and butter. I'm a kind of person, I just cannot do this. I cannot take bread and butter from you and replace with my brother and my sister and my mother or my uncle and aunt and everybody. No, me and my wife here. So we both will be working here. And the rest of people, if they say you guys, they told me this, they say you guys bring people from your family and then you let us go home. That might have happened probably those days. You know, a lot of Indian motels, they might have done it. Who knows?
But that wasn't your intent.
Though my intent was not there at all. Then I said that, okay, whoever wants to work, here's a piece of paper, here's a pen, write down your name. And then, if you don't sign it, if you don't write your name and number, then I assume that you do not want to work. And if you come back to work for me, then after, I will not hire you. I will hire to black, Spanish, Indian, Chinese, Pakistani, or white, to anybody, but I will not hire you people because you quit on me. That was the month of May 28, Memorial Day weekend.
Golly.
Everything was full, 100% occupancy.
And they all left?
No, 11 people stayed, rest of people, they left. But Dee, I had a guts. I was young. My blood was boiling. I had a strength. I could move the entire building upside down.
Yeah.
I was able to manage it. And of course, Jimmy Cohn was there.
Did you run like crazy?
Yes, I did. Oh, I worked like a, oh God. And then I needed to make a change to this chalet because there was a wrong image about the chalet, dirty motel, dirty place. So I bought new mattresses, I bought new bedspread and new this and that. I needed all that work. So I worked literally hard. I quit job. I was making $50,000 a year in pharmacy and I was working here $5 an hour job. So a lot of people, they ask me, why are you working here like a a regular employee, and you were making 50,000 a year salary, just quitting that place and came over here. And my partner told me that, come back to pharmacy. You don't need to stay in Tennessee. But I stayed. Then, when my family came here in '94, I hired them as I needed, not replacing anybody.
Right.
As I needed, because business was good. So when business is good, you can solve all the problems because money was coming. And so I hired my family members as the housekeepers. And before they came to, gents, people, their husbands, I found the work in Chattanooga for them in a factory where Charles Amin, he had a American Plastic.
I remember that.
He was making
Drew Amin.
Yeah, he was making plastic cups for American Airlines and United Airlines those days.
Oh yeah.
So I went over there. I asked, can you not hire my sister and their husband? Initially, they said, no, I don't hire Indians because and I told him that you may have reason probably. There may be a bad apple, but every Indians are not bad. You hire them. If you like them, keep them. If you don't like, fire them. I will not come to you and ask you that why did you fire? So they hired my sister Paul's mother and Paul's dad. So they work 70 hours a week, 7 days a week, because they were hungry for money.
How long did they work that long?
They worked for, I may not know exactly, but at least they made a lot of money from that place. They lived in one room in India. They lived in one room, smaller than half of this room. Did
they have a kitchen?
They had a kitchen, everything in that. Oh, you sleep over there, you cook over there, you sleep over there, you do everything. Yeah. Paul's sister, and my sister, and her husband, they 4 people lived in that house. When I went back to India, they did not have money to buy sweet for me. I remember it. So I brought them here, and they worked for Charlie. In 1 year, they made $28,000 saving because they lived at my place. I did not charge the rent. They lived at my house, so they did not have to cook. And I supported them. They made, I think, 9 months. $28,000 they made in 9 months between two of them.
And didn't spend it.
Did not spend any money. Where they spend money? Everything belonged to me. Then my wife's brother, they were poor. So the ladies, they started working for me in my motel. And the gents, I found the work for Charlie, because Charlie had a very good image about my sister and husband. So they had a work ready before they came to America even. So I took them to Chattanooga, and they started working different shift, morning or afternoon, whatever it may be. And initially I needed to drive them back and forth, bring them, take them, bring them. And then one by one they got the driver license. And they were able to do everything their own. I did not have to worry too much. I did not have to help them too much. And
did they help you in Clayton and Murphy when you had those motels? Did you?
If I needed help, not financially, if I needed help to clean the rooms, they came from here, from Cleveland, all the way to Clayton and Murphy because of me.
So that was pretty safe.
It was safe. Yeah, it was safe. Yeah. So, and then I sold that place in 1995, December 12, 1995, Chalet. I sold it. I kept Swiss House. I kept Lincoln Inn.
In the Lincoln Inn,
yeah. I kept Lincoln. I sold the Chalet. I made more money than I bought. So I sold it for more money. I think I sold it for 1.85. I bought it for 1.665, but then it was a whole parcel. So I sold only 100 rooms.
Oh, I remember.
To Ted Jordan from Mississippi, that guy. Ted Jordan. He was a white guy. I sold it to him for 1.85. And I was happy with the price. A lot of Indians came in to see that motel, and they were asking me stupid question. Why are you selling for so cheap? I said, why the hell you worry about that? Why don't you
Yeah.
just take it? If you think it's cheap, take
Yeah.
it. I'm not cheating you. I'm not cheating you.
They didn't want to give that much because you didn't give that much.
Yeah,
right?
that may be the reason. That may be the reason. And business was good, D. So that was a key for me to sell this place. I was doing almost like $1 million gross.
It was the place to be.
Yeah, that was the only good place was known in town for
And you
many
sold it which year? What year?
95.
95.
I sold it in 95, December 12th. To,
You still had Clayton, the Clayton Hotel?
No, then I bought Clayton.
Oh, then you bought Clayton.
1031 Exchange.
Yeah.
I bought that Clayton.
Where did Murphy come in?
Murphy came in after, maybe 2 years. Murphy came 2 years
And
after.
you sold to both of them now, right?
Well, I sold Clayton first in 2005, and then I sold to. We all are in partnership. I never eat the entire bread myself. I always share the bread with others. I never had any business as a sole proprietor. I always with partnership. I was never myself with any single business. So, in 2006, unfortunate thing happened in Murphy. That gentleman who was operating that store, the motel, he was an honest person, hard worker, but he was not a businessman. He was a poor manager also too. But then he wanted to buy the whole place. So okay, I say okay, you can have it. I do not want to come to Murphy even anymore because back and forth,
It was
back
a
and
long
forth.
drive, wasn't it?
Yeah, Murphy wasn't that bad compared to Clayton. Clayton was bad.
yeah.
Murphy, I kept Clayton for 9 years. 9 years.
You went there, what, twice a week? Or
No, I went 3 times a week, and then I stayed over there for some couple of years. I
Yeah.
stayed over there. So Murphy, I gave this property to that guy with our guarantee signature to the bank for 5 years. That if he can maintain that place for 5 years paying the mortgage, he failed to pay the mortgage. His business went down in 2008 and 2009 because of that
bad economy.
bad economy. That was not his only fault, but he was a bad manager also too. He was a poor person.
but you had guaranteed the note?
Oh yeah, note was guaranteed for $1.4 million, $50,000.
What'd you do?
Then there is a law in Tennessee, in North Carolina, that they can charge 15% lawyer fee. So they added lawyer fee, $225,000 on the top of that. Plus he did not pay mortgage for a long time. So he was paying only interest. So that it was accumulated. He was paying principal probably, not the interest. So altogether, I got the FedEx mail at home for lawsuit. They filed me for $2 million. God, and I was recovering from my surgeries. $2 million lawsuit between me and my partners. Of course, not me only. But I
The
was
bank was suing for the money.
Yeah, correct. I was the one who was operating, so all the burden stays at me. I'm the one who did all these things. Partners are in New York.
Yeah.
They make money for me. I make money for them here. So we take responsibility, like 100% ownership.
Yeah.
Like they operate pharmacy over there. They like 100% owner. They don't call themselves, I'm a partner here in this pharmacy. I own it. That's the way we call this.
Yeah.
So I lost my sleep. And I say I needed to settle these things.
Was that before your back started?
After my back surgeries.
Okay.
After my back
So
surgery.
that was a bad year.
I was recovering.
That was a bad year,
This,
right?
this was 2012. I was recovering from 2011 surgeries. And my last surgery was 2011, October 7,
And you were being sued by the bank for $2 million.
$2 million. And then
What'd you do?
I hired the attorney, Logan Thompson, but I did not like that guy. There was one attorney, looked like he's not taking care of me, so I quit. And then I asked Bill Brown. He was,
Your neighbor.
he was neighbor, yeah.
Yeah.
And I did not know he does litigation. So one time we were walking. I asked him that, do you do litigation? He said, Danny, I do. And I say, I have this case. If you want to take over, it is with Logan and Thompson. So he needed to get the release from Logan and Thompson. So he got the release. And then he fought back and forth. We settled it.
So you lost money on that?
Not a whole lot, $120,000.
Well, that's not bad.
I settled with $120,000.
Why didn't you get the chance to buy the motel back?
I did not want it because there was no business over there. When I bought that Comfort Inn in Murphy, that was Comfort. I paid the gross was 800,000, and when this guy bankrupt, that guy who 350,000 gross. So 350,000 gross.
Wonder why the sudden drop in.
Well, he was dropping because of his lack of knowledge.
But couldn't you get that back?
No, he cannot. The economy was bad also too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Economy was bad.
So you didn't want it?
No, I didn't want it. No, I didn't want it to go in auction even. So there was auction, and I knew that they will get some money from auction, and they will subtract. They got 700,000 from the auction.
So all you had to do was pay the deficiency.
Yeah, deficiency. But then I settled it. I argued. To the bank. I said, for all these years, you never asked for my tax return. You never asked for my financial. How the hell you know that I am alive or dead? You know what I mean?
And you should have gotten some notices, maybe, right?
Notices came when he stopped making payment completely 100%. Because as long as we make some payment, you don't get the notice.
Oh, I see.
So he was making some payment, but then he was accumulating all the remaining. But anyway, so I said to Bill Brown, I said, is not bank responsibility to inquire about this guarantor, whether this guarantor are alive or they dead? What happens if somebody have died, or what happens, 4 of them have died? They never inquired us in 5 years. That normally guarantee means you make it live, that guarantee every year, knowing that this person have a credential to pay this $2 million, to pay $1.4 million, $50,000 mortgage. But anyway, without going back and forth too much, we came to 120 and Mr. Brown's fee. I settled it. I wanted to get out from this mess. And Vinny was partner. And Vinny wanted to file a lawsuit to bank. He said, why can we not file a lawsuit to bank? And Bill said that you have to have a base in order to file the lawsuit to the bank. It's your fault. You failed to maintain the guarantee. So, and that is true. We failed to maintain the guarantee. So it was our fault one way.
The moral of the story is don't guarantee any notes for somebody.
No, don't do it. And before that, I co-signed for white people even. I had an employee in New York. This is, I'm talking about 82, 83. She needed a vehicle. And she was my employee. And I said, I'll sign it. I did not worry this much. Even though if I had worried, I needed to help that lady. She taught vehicles to my wife and some other people also. She was employee, so I used to tell that, can you go and let them learn the vehicle?
Yeah.
So she was a very good employee. I co-signed, and I signed for so many Indians in Cleveland, Tennessee when they came to America. How do you get car without co-sign?
Yeah.
How do you get one loan or anything? You have to co-sign it. So I co-signed it, but fortunately,
you've only had two or three bad ones.
No, not 2, 3 even. I don't think I had a bad any co-sign turn on me. No, they're all good.
Do you like
except this motel?
Except for that one.
Except that one, yeah. Except that one.
Do you like the motel business or the?
I do not like it.
Were you burn out with it?
Personally, I do not like it, and because of my age, maybe now, if you ask me now why I do not like it, it's a responsibility. And it's not the same what we used to run many years back. Before mom and pop type business, you run everything by yourself 24 hours a day or 7 days a week. I mean, not the 1 shift or 2 shift or 3 shift, whatever. Yeah. Most of Indians, that's where they made money. They work hard. These Indians are successful in the motel industry because they all started in a small business. Small motels, 20 rooms, 15 rooms, 30 rooms, 40 rooms. They have burst their chops in those motels. And then they made money, and then they got into franchise business like Daisy, Super 8, Howard Johnson, Motel 6, and then they got into Hilton and Marriott property. It did not happen.
Are they better off to stay in the mom and pops, or are they better off?
I think they will make quite money probably if they stay.
Because when you get into the bigger ones, you just
more
get
expensive,
more problems.
more expensive, more problems. Yeah, but it works for some people.
What about the convenience store business?
It's a good business. It's a good business.
You still have any more of them, or you?
I do not operate it. I never owned it completely myself. It's all in partnership. And that place in Chattanooga, that exit 5, Shalford Road, the one you did.
I renovated it.
Yeah, we still have that store. That store is a gold
That guy,
store.
to this day, he won't let me buy anything in there. I go in there and I quit going in there because he won't let me pay for it.
If they know you. Yeah,
that was what, 10 years? How long ago was that?
15 years ago.
15 years ago.
I think 17 years ago, probably 17. You remodeled that place.
Yeah.
And that place was not making any penny from that business. That store was not making any penny from that
That was a hard place to renovate.
No.
You had to take out the
poor
sides.
Poor operation. Bad employees and no management. When we took over, we stopped all that nonsense, smoking in the store. We started giving good customer service. We stopped selling everything free. Why you want to sell free? You know, they were selling mid-grade, super, and premium, all three gas at the same price.
Now, what about that one you had on the 64 highway? Remember, I renovated that one for you.
Yeah, that one I sold it.
As soon as I started, you went to India for like...
I sold it.
You left for India for what, a month?
No,
yeah.
I think I left to India a couple of times for 6 months. I say I'll come back in 6 months. I want to...
You remember that? You said, Dee, can you renovate this? And I said, yes. And the next day I went there and they said, well, Danny's gone to India for 6 months. And
I do not know whether I stayed 6 months or not, but I always...
I know I finished it and you weren't there.
One time my father was so sick and I say, I want to help my dad and I will come back after he dies. But he died in 5 days.
Oh.
So I came back in 2 months.
No, this time you were gone for like 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, so I may have gone probably.
For a long time.
Yeah, I may have gone. But I used to own that all stores over there, all 5 stores.
Do you like, if you had to go in business today, would it be convenience store or motel?
If I have a choice?
Yeah.
Since I do not operate myself and easy to operate convenience store, so convenience store will be better because it's easy to operate.
Yeah.
It's easy to operate. And you know, you have to speak, you have to smile, you have to say thank you, you have to say have a nice day and keep the place nice and clean. You don't need to communicate if you do not know how to communicate. But as long as if you are welcoming everybody, keeping your place nice and clean restroom, that's your goodwill. If you communicate, you make good friends. You can make more friends because people like politics, people like religion, people like sports. So I know all of this subject. So I communicate, and then that's why I have too many friends, and that is why I learn from others too, politics, religion, and about America also. Because if you want to learn something, if you want to know something, then if you don't communicate, you're not gonna learn. So don't isolate yourself. Get blended with people. And when you blend with people, then you would have many positive things coming to you.
So interacting with other people
Of
seems
course.
to help that.
Dee, whatever you are, or whatever I am, or whatever the young man, without interacting people, you cannot have this without interacting people.
You can't have what?
Whatever we have, whatever you have, whatever I have.
So my advantages might become your advantages, and your advantages might become
That's
mine.
it. That's it, sir. That's it. That's the bottom line.
That's what they call community, I guess.
Well, whatever you call that, socializing.
Hey, is that community coffee in these convenience stores? Is that Indian owned?
Which one?
It's called community coffee.
No, I do not know.
It's in a red cup. It says community coffee.
No, I have no idea.
It's always in about every store that's owned by Indians.
No,
It says community coffee.
I have no idea. Maybe they just put the logo like that.
Because I know Indians use the word community a lot.
Yeah. Can I use restroom?
Yeah, go ahead.
But I was a very mischievous boy while I was growing back home in India. Very mischievous.
Until you were 27?
I came to America when I
You
was
ever see
26.
that movie Slumdog Millionaire?
Yeah, I saw that.
Is that realistic?
That realistic, yeah, it is, yeah. That's the way the life is over there. You know, we always went out. We grew up on a street. Parents will go to farm for earning. They have to.
How big a town did you live in?
My town was a pretty big town, but
Like is this big or?
a little bigger than this one, bigger than Cleveland, but it's in a smaller area. So everything is congested. You have very limited space. It's not like in America.
What would you say is, now you may not want to talk about this, but y'all pick your wives, right?
No, my parents and her parents.
That's what I mean.
We don't pick our spouses. No.
Now, how does that work? And y'all don't have any divorces we do, right?
Well, you compromise it in a sense that if you do not compromise, then society will not cooperate you. If you take let's say I'm married to my wife. If I take divorce, you know what is the punishment? If I take the divorce,
what?
Community will not cooperate us in my entire, like Cleveland will not speak to me. Entire Cleveland.
You mean you're the Indian community?
Well, we all Indian in India anyway, so.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So you are left alone. It's a punishment. It's like non-cooperation.
Is there any?
You will not get milk even. You will not get anything.
If you don't marry who your parents say to marry.
That is correct.
But now your parents would have to decide who's compatible with you.
No, not necessary. They, in that sense, they were ignorant parents. They will just get anybody, whoever is available, and they will tie you.
Because it has to be somebody similar age.
No, not necessary. You bring them home, and sometime you find out it could be a jackpot, it could be ugly, or sometime could be a handicap even. My friend, he got married when he was 3 months old.
3 months old?
3 months old. So those days, I was lucky. I did not get married. I was 3 months old. I got married when I was 19 years old.
Did you know her before?
No, I did not know her. No, I did not.
How soon did you meet her before you was married?
After I got married, I bring her home, and then they open up.
So you didn't know what she looked like?
No. None so whatsoever.
What if it had been a guy?
That's a whole thing, that he could have been handicapped. It could be somebody with a disease, or it can be anything. Could be gay, lesbian, or I could be something, and you just
or it could be you.
Either way.
Yeah.
But
now you assume that parents want to get you married to someone that's compatible.
And they know someone.
Yeah.
Only thing.
So but y'all don't have divorces even when you're in America.
Divorce, hardly 1 in a million.
And you're not picking them. Your parents are.
That's correct. So we compromise it. Reason we compromise it, Dee, we do not want to hurt to our family. If I take divorce with my wife, then my entire family will be thrown out from the society. Nobody will cooperate. Nobody will trade anything, and they will live the miserable life. You do not.
What if you're miserable with the person you're married to?
There's one person you are miserable with, but not the entire family. My uncle, my maternal uncle, my mother's brother, we call maternal uncle. He divorced in 1960, I believe that. 1960. He was a professor. He was a highly educated. He divorced. It was a difficult time for us to get married because we are nephews. So they might think that, nephews may be the similar too. So my father had a difficult time to find a person. So my father will pick anybody, just like whoever is available. So think about this. 1960, I got married in 1969. My uncle took divorce in 1960, I believe that. I do not know the exact year, but 1960. So I got married in 1969. 69, 10 years after, my father was not able to find the person to get married with me.
Because they thought divorce might run in the family.
That's correct. So this was the punish. My father had it, and but even though if you take divorce, those days there was some divorce. There were some cases, but very rare, unheard of it. But your family will suffer. So you don't let your family suffer because of you. So you compromise it. You take it whatever you get, whether you get jackpot or whether you get ugly, regardless of what.
Now, the ones I've talked to said they get married not for love. First comes commitment, then comes love.
Yeah, then comes love, yeah.
And here we do love and then commitment.
Opposite. It's opposite, totally. So, but right now, if you ask me as of today, at 2021,
Yeah.
I think divorce rate is very high in India. Not as high as America or other Western countries, but we have a high divorce
Will
rate.
you pick your kids? Will you keep that tradition?
No, I will not. My
So you don't like it that you don't agree with that?
No,
now.
I do not agree with that. Absolutely, I'm totally 100% I take objection. I reject it. We live in a joint family right now. Me and my brother, we live together. We earn, we put in one basket, and we use that money from that basket to use for whatever reason we use it. And there is no question to be asked, why you taking this much money and why you spending this money and why you not spending. So my nephew is married to American woman. And he'd say one day, my nephew came home and he said that, uncle, I want to get married with this, my classmate. She's in a college. And his mom taken some objection, but me and my brother gave a green light. Go ahead and get married with her if you like her. So he accepted it with heart. We did not take any objection.
So do you think? So you think that picking your own spouse is a better way than what you were?
I would say, D, you're going to spend your life with that girl, or girl will spend her life with that man. I believe that if you have chemistry match, a lot of marriages do not have chemistry match. They're good people maybe, but that chemistry will not match. Then what good it is? Tell me, why you want to live miserable life? You have one time to live this life. And if you don't compromise it, then you will live your life miserably. But so if you know someone, if you have spent time enough knowing that person well from every angle, not from beauty, then probably your marriage will be successful. Your marriage will be successful.
What are some of the cultures that are in India that you like
Culture
better than here?
Social life, probably because they help each other a lot. If somebody is in trouble or if somebody needs money, if I need $1 million tomorrow morning, then I can raise $1 million tomorrow morning.
Will you have to pay interest on it?
We don't charge interest sometime, no.
Well, how do you know who gives it?
Like I gave my nephew $225,000 to buy a pharmacy. I'm not collecting any dime interest. No, how can I collect interest from him?
But how long can you do that before you run out of money? Will he give you?
I would ask probably in 3-4 years. I would say that if you need to return my money.
No interest.
No interest. He gave me 40,000 back in 3 years. 2 years ago I gave him that money. Yeah. So.
So the Indian community is more. Sounds to me like American government is more apt to help you than the Indian government. But in India, the individuals are more apt to help you than Americans are apt to help.
See, this is our drawback in America. We do not help each other the way 50 years ago, 70 years ago, 80 years ago in America. This was the life. They were helping to each other.
Even when you came here, it's changed?
Big time change. Like Kenny Rogers said, life was different 20 years ago. When I came to America, when I worked in a newspaper stand, there was honesty. I was selling the newspaper.
In New York.
And people, they in the morning, 3 o'clock, they need that newspaper because city never sleeps. Train runs every day, 24 hours a day. People are traveling every single hour. So newspaper delivery will come. New York Times, Daily News, New York Post. All these newspaper will come in the morning at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock in the morning.
That may be why you're getting up at 3:30.
I used to get up earlier then because I need to open that store. So what happens when I go to that store to open the newspaper shop? Mm-hmm. You lift the bundle and people will put money underneath the bundle and they will take the paper out. And they will not steal the paper. They will put the change, they will take paper.
And that's even in New York.
In New York, in 1976, they will leave the change right on the bundle and they will pull the paper out from the bundle. That was honesty. And then when you lift the bundle, then underneath you find the dollar bill.
Mm. That's why you see on the movies, they just throw the change towards it.
And nowadays, they steal the whole bundle. And they sell on exit sometime.
And that's even in Cleveland, you've been here how long?
1992.
And you were in Athens?
I was in Athens for 6 months.
So you've been here 20-something years.
Oh, yes, sir. 28 years.
28 years.
29 years, maybe.
You're as much from Cleveland
I'm
as
a Southerner.
anybody. Yeah.
My family calls me I'm a Southerner.
Yeah. But you don't eat fried chicken, do you?
No, because the way I drive, the way I'm careful, the way I watch, I was not like this in New York. I lived in New York like a New York driver in New York.
So that's saying a New York minute, that's a fast minute. Here it's calm.
Mechanical life in New York.
Do you like Cleveland much better than
much
you would
better? Oh yeah. Nowadays, I would say probably 1,000,000 times better than New York City. I love Cleveland, Tennessee.
Not just Athens, not just the South. Cleveland, Tennessee.
Even overall, southern states are very good states. I like Cleveland because I live here for a longer period of time, and I will live here and die here in Cleveland. My funeral will be in Cleveland, so I'm not going nowhere.
Do you think there's
Cleveland is good?
Do you think there's a hereafter?
I don't want to talk about that. I do not know anything about it even. They talk about, my wife thinks that if you do good for people, then you will have second life.
What happens here if we do good for people is helpful.
If you are cruel or if you are a bad person. But I always say that I want to live with honesty, dignity, and status. I want to help people as much as I can.
I don't know anybody that knows you that doesn't say those exact things about you.
Yeah, because my whole goal is to help as much as I can.
Who gave you that desire?
My uncle, back home in India.
What was his name?
P.C. Patel. He died. He was a professor.
So he was a big inspiration?
Big inspiration, yeah. Because in my town...
Did he know he was a big inspiration?
I did not know that time he was a big inspiration, no. But he was a tough man. Tough man.
So he didn't know he was an inspiration to you, and
no,
you didn't know he
know.
was an inspiration.
But then I admire him now more and more and more on a daily basis, that he was the one who brought me on a track, because I was a bad boy in India.
What did you do?
I was a mischievous boy, not focusing on education, just hanging around.
Drugs and alcohol?
No. We never had drugs. We never had alcohol. We never had bad magazines. If you get caught with bad magazines or drugs, you go to jail. You are done.
They say the Indians don't drink and don't have any vices, but they'll exploit any of those that you have.
Well, in my case, I was a bad boy in a sense. I was a troublemaker. I like to irritate people. I irritated a lot of people back home in India.
Did you go through 12 years of high school?
12 years school, yeah. And
did y'all have algebra?
Then 6-year college.
Did y'all have algebra there?
Oh yeah.
Geometry?
Yeah, everything. Yeah, science, geometry. And 6 years in college, I went to pharmacy.
How many people graduated in your high school class?
I would say probably 100. And in a college where I graduated in India, that was #1 college in India. #1 pharmacy college in India. It's like Harvard.
How many languages are there in India?
I think every state have their own language.
Now, I never have understood that. They say there's like 21 different dialects.
When I came to this country, I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, we had 17 states. I do not know how many states we have right now. We have more than probably 20, 22.
You call them states?
States.
So they all have their own.
Connecticut, New York, Massachusetts, Michigan.
Do they all have their own language?
They have their own language. So if you go to Massachusetts, you have to speak Massachusetts language. If you go to Mississippi,
was the language close?
No. You will not understand it.
Why is that?
I have no idea. That I did not have any knowledge when I was growing up in India.
So you go across state lines and you're lost.
There is a national language they call Hindi, Hindi.
Did everybody speak Hindi?
No. But people will understand. If they attempt to speak, they will try to understand. That language blends with so many languages. So for 26 years, I wasted my 26 years in India, let's put it this way. Because I was such a mischievous boy. I was a troublemaker.
But you went to high school.
I was in high school, I went to college. Even I was a troublemaker in college.
Did you not care anything about...
No, I did not. I did not get scared for anything.
Do you remember the day that you changed your mind?
I changed my mind when my father lost everything. When he did not have anything, I borrowed money to come to America. I needed only 4,900 rupees, which is $600 maybe. And nowadays, it's maybe $400. I do not know how many. 4,900 in my currency. There was like a $600 those days to buy an airplane ticket. So my father did not have money. My father was depressed from the losses in a farm. So I borrowed money. And I paid back. As soon as I made money here, I paid back wherever I borrowed. I realized that I needed to take some responsibility. So when I went to college, I was getting better and better, but never to the point where you wanted to be 100%. I got more responsibility from my father's loss, because when we did not have anything in my house, then I said, I got to do something. There are 7 brothers, sisters, my father, mother, we are 9 people, and I needed to be more responsible.
So it was more fear motivated.
I said, I need to do something, and there was no opportunity back home in India. And I say, only opportunity I will have it if I go to USA. And I was able to get the visa, and I'm fortunate, and I'm thankful to America. And as of today, even I'm thankful because what America have done to me, not only to me, but to my entire community, that they all prosperous. They all became prosperous financially. Children are in a good college. Children, they go to good school.
They're all the doctors now.
They are more or less in a good profession, actors, engineers, scientists, pharmacists. So they do well. And this country we have done a lot. And I tell my people, and you need to be loyal. You don't forget your country, where you come from. That's your birthplace. You never forget. But at the same time, you are here. You're going to live here. You're going to die here. So you need to take some interest in politics, interest in religion, interest in churches, interest in school, in donations, helping out others. Don't be just get isolated by yourself.
You're as much American as I am.
And this is what I want to tell them, that you become U.S. citizen. For what? To get the benefits of U.S. citizenships? If you want to be a citizen of this country, then you make some contribution. Unfortunately, voting percentage is so low in Indian community, less than 5%. And I tell them, go and vote, go and vote, go and vote.
It doesn't matter who you vote for.
It doesn't matter who you vote. I tell them who I like who to vote, but if they do not vote that guy who I like, that's fine.
You may be wrong, they may be right.
Yes, but no, I'm not going to stick with Democrat or Republican Party. No, I'm not gonna. I like them to vote what I believe into, but they don't have to. They don't have to. And they need to contribute some fund, donation to local people here.
What's the point of doing that? Just to help?
To help people.
So you think we have a moral or ethical obligation?
Obligation. When you do well, you want to help someone. So that way that person will rise up.
What's the point of them rising up?
Well, if they rise up, then you feel good yourself. Like my family, I have 225 people on my immigration. 225 people came to this country on my immigration, and
Because of your uncle.
because of me. Oh yeah, my uncle. Yeah, you could say that again. Yeah, my uncle. And then I came, and then I brought my wife, my boy, and then my visa.
How long was you here before you brought your wife over?
Year and quarter. I could have brought her same day when I came to this country, but where you want me stay? How? Yeah. No, I want to be settled on my own feet first of all.
You were down in the subways.
Subway making newspaper, selling the newspaper.
Do you look back at those days and think those were good times?
Not really. No. I do not brag on it sometime, good time or bad time, but there was a process a lot of Indian gone through. Most of Indian, they have worked hard. Money hasn't come that easily. They did work hard. They've gone through, I'm not the only Indian have gone through this hardship. Sure. Most of Indian, a lot of American, ask 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago. Life was different here. They've gone through difficult time. We had these wars, Korean War, Vietnam War, the
COVID
Gulf
thing.
War, and this war, that Iraq War, Afghanistan War. Who went to war? Americans went to war, not Indians. Mm-hmm. So you think that part also, that okay, if you do not want to go to war, then you compensate with something. That these people, they have fought for you, fought for the freedom. And we are enjoying this country.
Hence Veterans Day.
We have, look at this, we as a foreigner, we can build our own house in America. We can build our own temple in America. We can have our own businesses in America. Mm. We can have our own community in America. Where do you find this, Dee? Where do you find this? I tell these people, to my fellow Indians, that this is what you have to admire and this is what you have to appreciate. Do you allow any Muslim in your street? No, you do not allow Muslim. Back home in India, in your area where you live, you do not allow untouchable people in your own, where you live, in your street. We don't, this is something, untouchable people.
I don't understand. Is that the caste system?
That's unfortunate. Things is going away. It's going away.
It's going away?
Yeah.
How do you know somebody's in the caste system?
Well, when you grew up in a town, they hypnotize you from the birth that Muslims are bad. These are untouchable people. Don't touch them.
It was all fake. It was all fake.
All fake, and unfortunately, I blame on our parents.
But they didn't know. They were just following.
They're just following the old system. And I have 20% Muslim in my town, 100,000 population in my town where I come from, 20% Muslim. They're not troublemakers. They were my classmates, untouchable people I invited when I came to America at my home. Mm-hmm. Some people they did not like because I gave them cup of tea in my own saucer and cup, what I used to use.
In India, they wouldn't do that.
No, I did it when I came to America.
Oh.
My father even did not like it, all this thing what I was doing.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I just cannot get it over with this thing. Yeah. Even though if you touch, you have to take the shower when you come home.
All because they're that group.
Because that group, poor people, they stayed in one area because they're so poor. You never gave
Maybe
them.
that was because of a disease.
You never let them rise up. You suppress them.
That's not good, is it?
No, it's not good. I'm totally against with this. And this guy.
Do you think seeing them oppressed over the years has caused you now to? That's one reason you try to help so many people because you're trying to undo that.
No, I don't think so. I thought that way. But government did a lot of good things in order to bring them up. But people take an objection. That caste system, that like Patel, the upper class system, they take an objection to bring them up. But now they're coming up, okay, and they're doing so well that they are controlling the India now, many places. And these people, they're getting jealous. They say, look at this. God damn it, we never should have given chance to these people. Look at they're controlling us now. Because you gave them a chance. They rise up, they studied, they went to college, and they are in a big position right now. They are in a bigger position.
What was your given name?
Dasharatha Lala.
When did you become Danny?
Well, in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Not in New York?
New York, I was Dashu. D-A-S-H-U. Yeah, Dashu. It's my short. D-A-S-H-U.
But what's the full name again?
Dasharatha Lala.
Do you remember that like it's yesterday?
Yeah, oh yes.
Who are you, Danny, or are you that one?
I would say when I live here in Cleveland and when I live in America, I would rather prefer to be called by Danny, so easier for other people.
Did you change on the green card, or when did you become? Is this on your birth certificate? Do you have birth certificates from India?
No, I did not have birth certificate. I had to affidavit it.
Oh.
So
what does the affidavit say, Danny?
Dashrat Lal. No, you have to have a real name when you come to America.
What does your driver's license say?
We never had driver license in India.
I mean here.
Dashrat Lal. See, when you come to America...
Danny is just what I call you.
Yeah, right, that's what it is. Yeah,
it's like a nickname.
Nickname, that's correct. Because when you come to US, when you go to get visa at immigration office in Mumbai, they ask your birth certificate. My birth was never recorded. So I do not know what is my birth date even.
You don't even know how old you are?
Well, my father knew approximately.
Close.
I was born during this time, and when that guy was
How
born.
do you know when to have a birthday?
So you just pick the date.
What did you pick?
April 1st, 49. Not me.
Why?
When they put in school, teacher will ask, how old is he? And my father will say, probably, or most of people, or maybe he's 6, or maybe 7. He said, can we put down today's date? So they put down today's date. So if you go to Cleveland, Tennessee right now, and if you ask older people that when they were born, most of them, they are April 1st or June 1st. Because our school opens April 1st or June 1st.
God.
But then when you come to US, you have to have that affidavit.
So the only time they had to give their age, was most likely when they went to school.
That's
and
correct.
Since school started at those two
And
times.
that date is carried on all the way till date today.
I wonder if they have a way of knowing exactly when you was born.
Well, I think so, because
DNA
there are some
or something.
educated people in town. So educated people, they registered birth certificate for their children.
How old do you think you are?
I think I'm 72.
You don't look 72. You're in good shape, aren't you?
No, because my brother, my cousin, his birthday was recorded. And my mom told me that I'm older than him. He doesn't know exactly, but year older than him. And his date is recorded. His birthday is recorded.
Let me ask you this. Sometimes I drive by your house, and around 2 o'clock, you're sitting in your car.
Because now I have a sunroom. So I sit, before, reason I sit in my car, I do not have any place where I can sit in my house where I will be comfortable. I cannot sit on sofa.
Why not? Because your back?
In my back. I cannot sit on this. I have office chair, but office chair is good only for my meal time only. I don't use that much time. Office chair is good only when I read in the morning that computer and get up every half hour and sit down, get up every half hour and sit down.
So your car seat's comfortable?
Car seat is $1 million worth of seat. So every day when I finish my nap, I come out, bring my car out, and sit in my car until 6 o'clock probably. You may have seen me until 6 o'clock.
Yeah. So you're there for like 3 hours?
No, 4 hours sometimes. I read.
What do you read?
Newspaper and books. I read newspaper.
Current stuff.
I read politics, lot politics. I have zero religion knowledge. And I do not know my...
So you're more interested in politics?
American politics, not Indian politics. I have zero knowledge in Indian politics.
So it's all politics that you read?
Not all the time. No, sir. Don't get me wrong. I read newspaper. I read books. But I read politics more also too sometimes.
Like biographies or something?
Yeah, like right now, there is no politics for me to read.
What are you reading right now?
Right now, general newspaper, magazines.
No books?
National Geography. Then I read some good books.
Do you subscribe to National Geographic?
Yeah, I do.
How much is that?
I think $37, $38, $39
A year? They send it to you?
every month. It's every month. Newspaper delivers every
That's
day.
probably one of the last magazines that still.
Comes every month.
You like to?
I like to travel, so I read travel section a lot.
Do you like to read more paper than you do online?
Paper, yeah. I do not like to read online. No. A few things I read online because when you open online, it's so many topics.
Yeah.
So you pick the topic what you want to read, but when you online I do not read a whole lot. No, but I read a lot of
Do you eat
medical field knowledge.
Do you eat breakfast?
I eat everyday breakfast with my coffee and biscuit from Aldi.
From Aldi's?
That's it.
The frozen biscuits?
No, not frozen biscuit. Those cheap biscuits available, but I like it. So I'm hooked up on those biscuits, like Reeds.
So do you go get? Are they already cooked?
My wife goes out to buy grocery. I never go to grocery store.
So they come out of the refrigerator?
No, they're under room temperature.
From
Aldi's?
Aldi's?
It's like crackers. She buys from Aldi's those crackers. You buy Reeds crackers.
Ritz, yeah.
Like that, those kind of crackers.
Oh, you said biscuit.
Yeah, I call biscuit.
Okay.
Also.
So you eat Aldi what?
Indian biscuit I eat also too.
But what does she usually get you from Aldi's?
We mostly buy from Aldi's. Vegetables, all fruits. And
Are they fresh? I understand they're fresh.
No,
over
we like it. My wife is a good shopper. She do not want to spend money.
So you eat those biscuits from Aldi's
Every single day in the morning.
and they're what are they made of?
Wheat flour, whole wheat.
So it's like a wheat thin. They're like that thin.
Yeah, like a thin. Yeah, that's correct.
What do you eat with it?
With coffee.
No oatmeal.
No oatmeal, no.
No bacon and egg.
No,
You're
no.
vegetarian, right?
Well, I was not before, but now I am. Yeah, vegetarian. I changed myself.
Yeah.
I was eating every kind of food you name it in America. Then I lived in New York. In New York, it's nothing but good food.
Do you eat pork and everything? In New York?
Everything, all fish, all pork, every meat.
But
since the incident
so
happened,
you just eat coffee. You just eat these wheat thins and drink coffee.
Yeah,
and that's
morning.
it.
That's it, and one banana,
One banana.
half.
Why half?
I keep half for my wife. It's too big. It's too big.
Why a banana?
Put a lot of potassium. So it's good for your health. Why not? It's filler also too. It fills you up.
But potassium, that's salt, isn't it? Potassium, isn't that salt? Same thing as salt?
No, it's not same thing. It's a different K. Salt is a sodium, Na. Yeah. But I eat every single day. Since many years. And I drink different coffee. One time I have Starbucks. Next day I have Dunkin' Donuts. Next day I have Sumatra.
Where do you get them at? You buy the bags?
I used to buy from Bed Bath and Beyond. Those boxes, K-cups.
That's what I drank here.
But I have, this is a K-cup.
Yeah.
That's what I have it. But I have 6 different kind coffee. So I alternate.
Do you drink a cup this big?
Bigger than that.
Like this big?
Yeah, bigger.
That's a lot of coffee.
Yeah. And then I drink 6 glasses of water in the morning.
Now when you eat breakfast what time if you get up at 4?
5 o'clock.
Why do you wait an hour?
I spend so much time in bathroom and exercising. I do exercise.
You still stretch a lot? Stretch?
I have to, yeah. Without stretching, I cannot move myself too well.
You stretch in the bathroom floor?
No, I stretch while I'm walking and going upstairs and downstairs and use my stairways. And
so you walk your stairways for stretching?
Yeah, go back and forth.
That's a good idea.
And then I do some mild exercise. I cannot bend, so I don't do any bending exercise.
So you exercise for an hour?
No.
Stretch?
Maybe close to 30 minutes altogether. And then I spend time in bathroom in the morning.
Does your wife get up and cook that early?
No. She will get up probably 6:30, 7 o'clock. And I will have tea ready for her when she get up.
What kind of tea?
Regular Indian tea.
Which is what, chai?
Chai, yeah.
Chai.
So in chai, we have sugar. Well, there are only 4 things in chai anyway.
Y'all put so much milk in it. To me, it's like milk.
Almost 100% milk.
100%.
Very little water.
Yeah.
We're so lucky to be in America to use milk. We
Yeah.
could not use milk in India in order to make this good tea. So more milk is better tea. And then you use tea leaves, not tea bags. It comes.
Oh yeah, you got that strainer.
Yeah, so you just put in that, put the water, put the milk. There are only 4 ingredients in tea.
And sugar.
And sugar.
Yeah.
But every person makes different kind of tea because of 4 ingredients are in a different
What do
concentration.
you do from 7 to noon?
Then I go out to walk about 8, 9 o'clock sometime. And then after I walk, finish it, read it again, a little bit on a computer.
Emails?
I don't watch news.
Do you email people on your businesses?
Very little. No, I'm not active that much even.
You don't care what they do, it's
No,
okay.
no. Before I used to get the report every single day.
You don't care.
No, I don't. For last 10 years, 11 years, 10 years, zero. I gave up everything. I quit everything. I don't have any mail to open except my own personal mail.
Will you get K1s at the end of the year?
At the end of the years, yeah. And you pay taxes.
Do they send you money from these businesses?
Yeah, by check.
Every month or every year?
No, they quarterly. They distribute quarterly.
Everything?
Well, I gave so much to my family members. I have very little left on my name.
But do the Indians typically pay to their partners every quarter, or how they work that?
No, they get salary every month. They get salary plus partnership. Most of us,
But y'all don't argue like people do.
never. I had only one bad person in my 46 years in America. I mean, I'm here in this country for 46 years. Only one enemy. That's not bad, right?
No.
Only one.
No.
And I forgive him also now. I said, he shouldn't be my enemy. I should forget him.
Do you think that is good partnerships on the behalf of both parties, I guess?
Both party, because business
What if somebody's run the convenience store and they mess something up and it costs $10,000?
It hasn't happened to us, but it can happen. I have heard it. Then you go in an unfortunate time, arguing, fighting.
You do that?
That happens. It happens. Oh yeah.
But you get along better than Americans.
I want to join with Americans.
But I mean, did the Indian community as a rule get along better than the American?
That is correct,
people?
because you know the chemistry, you can match the chemistry, you can understand the chemistry. And since you do not know that white person that long, if you know someone, like I know some people so well now, I can go very easily with them in a partnership. If they call me and they said, Danny, this is the project we have, we want to get together, you want to be a partner? I will jump into that if like you or your brother, Bo, or my neighbor, or my other guy who moved out from my place, he used to live over there. I tell a lot of people that, why don't you go in a business? Why don't you go in a business? I encourage them. Dee, since we got the success running the business and we know how to operate the business, I tell a lot of Americans, I tell a lot of Americans that you cannot just keep working behind the register or behind the counter, selling the rooms and giving the keys. You need to go in a business. I will support you. Even financially, I want to support people. But very difficult to find the right kind of people that you have trust on them and you think, okay, this person is worth to go in a business. Let's do that. But I do not have that. I have not encountered those many even yet. So on. I remember one couple used to work for me, husband and wife, behind the cash register. They were good worker. I asked them that, can you not look for a small business? Since you are working behind the cash register, you know you have a very good personality. You're good to customers. So all you need in a small convenience store. So they say, we don't have money, or they give you the reason. But then you see that money is not the important part in buying the business. Oh, you don't need that kind of money to buy a business. So, but somehow they're not in a business environment. Their family, their father, their mother, their brother, their sister, their friend circle is not a business.
Oh.
So that's why they get a little bit discouraged to get into the business.
Do you think
and they don't know me, how good person or how bad person I am.
Yeah.
If I ask you, Dee, you want to be in business with me? We go and buy this store or we build this store.
Or buy the chalet again.
If you do not know me too much about it, then you say, Danny, no thanks. I don't have money, or you give me a reason that I don't feel comfortable or I do not want to take a risk in a business. You give me a good, honest answer probably. But I do tell people, get into the business. You do require some money to start, but then there is a way to get some help to start.
Do you? But nowadays you're just taking it easy.
100%. I'm almost like more or less inactive person, but my mind is still in a business.
Do you still eat lunch?
I cannot do. Oh, I eat lunch every day.
What time do you eat lunch?
About 12 o'clock, sharp at 12.
At 12?
Yeah.
Why it's sharp?
Because that is a perfect time for me to go for my nap at 1 o'clock.
What do you usually eat?
I go to nap at 1.
What do you eat?
It doesn't matter, anything, sandwiches, whatever food, leftover food from night before.
So lunch is not a big to-do?
No. Yeah.
Just leftovers, whatever?
Whatever it is, yeah.
Then you take a nap at 1?
1 o'clock.
You go to the bedroom?
I put my phone on a silent mode. I don't answer the phone. I put my house phone off the hook, so nobody will disturb me.
You shut the blinds?
No, I can take a nap in the sunshine even. And when when it vibrate, I just take a peek. That's all. If it's important, then I will answer it.
So you go to the bedroom and go back to sleep?
Yeah. No, I sleep in my living room where I have that couch, like a hospital couch.
You turn the TV off?
I turn the TV on, and then I go to bed. When the TV is turned,
what do you watch?
My wife will turn it off. Fox News.
At 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock.
What's on?
1 o'clock, that John Roberts and that lady, I forgot her name. It's like a world news, not world news, but good news comes at 1 o'clock.
And so you sleep till what, 3?
No. 1 hour, maybe 1.5 hours, sometimes 45 minutes.
Did it take you a long time to get to this place in your life where you could do this?
No, I never think that way. I never said that, thanks God, this is the time I got now. No, I never think that way. No. It's a cycle. It happens to everybody maybe. At one point you will quit. Even though you want to work, I wanted to work to age of 70. That was my goal. But then at the age of 62, I got this unfortunate problem, my back. I had 5 back surgeries. That threw me off completely. So I retired early.
It was a good thing that you were financially able, right?
I was fortunate, yeah, I was fortunate. Otherwise, can you imagine that if you are 62 years old or 58 years old or whatever age you may be, and if you have this serious back problem, which cannot do anything, and you have 3 children or 2 children supposed to be going to college, what do? You get miserable.
It'd be hell.
Yeah. So saving money, having some deposit in a bank or in a fixed deposit or in an investment, this is what it helps.
Do you have any current goals?
Current goal?
Yeah.
No, none whatsoever, except to help people wherever I can. I do social services. I take people to Social Security office or doctor's office if they ask me to go, or any hospital.
Indian community or anybody?
Doesn't matter. But mostly I am invited by Indian community because they have language problem. And since I did the pharmacy school, I know a little bit more medical field, so I can communicate well.
That's right.
And I can challenge the doctor even if that doctor is trying to cheat somebody.
Yeah.
Or I can go to social services, or if somebody wants to be on Medicare or Medicaid or those kind of work I do, I enjoy doing it. If someone calls me that we need to go to hospital in Chattanooga, can you go with us? I will go.
What's your Saturday look like? Your Saturdays?
Saturday? Same day as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No difference.
Sunday?
Sunday is the same. I don't go to church.
So you don't distinguish weekends, really?
No. Sometimes, when you're home 7 days a week, you do not know what the day is there even. But more or less you know. You may forget probably once in a while. Yeah.
So a Sunday doesn't feel like a Sunday to you like it would to me?
No. Because you guys are active. When you guys are active, when you're working, each and every hour have value.
So that's the way you were then.
Yeah, I was.
But now that you're retired,
yeah, I have nothing to do beside that. If I get a call from somebody to help.
are you going to keep this same walking routine, or are you going to slowly start jogging and getting faster and getting faster?
I don't think so. I can do any much because I can tell myself that I tried few times. I failed. I tried. I love to travel. So when I travel, I do same thing. I walk in the parking lot of that hotel, or Grand Canyon, or Yellowstone National Park, or Sequoia National Park, or any Giant National Park, or Bryce National Park. I walk.
What would you contribute your success to here? Would you say that it's been hard work, intelligence, fate,
I would not say
luck?
word intelligence, but hard work and my nature of helping others that have made me more successful probably. That I always wanted to help my fellow friends, and whether Americans or Indians, and especially I started with Indians, and when they all are more prosperous than me right now, they are more, then is my happiness. If my relatives, in-laws are not happier financially, then they will blame on me that you did yourself but you did not look after us.
But your financial success has contributed to what?
My financial success contributed to my good partners and good family. Good partners. I have a good partnership. I have not failed in a partnership for all these years. If I do not like partnership with you, I will not make argument or fight. We just separate from each other, period. We just live from each other. Either you take over, I take over. As simple as anything.
Would you say that hard work
will pay you off to everybody. Everyone need to work hard. If you do not work hard and if you look for easy money, I think you failed. You failed. You have to work hard.
So first you have to work hard.
First, yeah, and then you have to use your brain and your pocket. Then I mean to say money.
To make money.
To make money.
So in the beginning you use your back to make money.
You work hard to make money, and then once you have some money in your pocket, then you ask yourself, how would I do more with my money in my pocket? Or I mean to say money in a bank, and your knowledge. So when I say brain, means knowledge. So you put together, I think success will be there. And honesty, never lose honesty. Never try to cheat anybody. Don't cheat. If you cheat someone, you get caught. You will get caught if you cheat somebody. I did, when I was working in pharmacy, I was charging more money to prescription than my partner was charging. Same pharmacy, when he come to relieve me for some reason, and if he fills the prescription, he will charge less than I will charge. I will charge more, but I will give my all energy and all knowledge for that person. So I will not be compromising myself because I did not make money. I made money good from you, so I want to give everything what I have to you. And that is the way I got my success.
Danny, I'm glad people like you are out there.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I'm not going to take my food.